Hey everybody, welcome to video number 3 of our 3-part series for strong legs and healthy knees. If you missed the first 2, in the first one we talked about identifying, is that knee pain actually coming from your knee? In our second one, we addressed movement patterns, so looking at how do your legs and knees operate and making sure that we've got really solid patterning there for healthy knee function. And today's video is going to use some of those techniques for a very non-complicated short routine that you can start employing today for strong legs, including your feet, ankles, knees, and hips. So let's get started. Now I'm on a yoga mat, but you don't have to be on a yoga mat. You can be on a floor. Couple things I would suggest. Take off your shoes so you can spread out those toes. In video 2, we talked about how a patterning that happens in our feet can cascade up our kinetic chain and cause pain in our knees or faulty movement patterns there. So if you take off your shoes, we can start to correct those patterns and start to develop stronger muscles in our feet and start to feel that. And the other thing I would suggest is if you can be on a harder surface to do that. If you're on a carpet, I'd say keep on going, do it for sure, but a harder surface is going to give you a little bit better base to work from. Okay, so we're going to start with our feet hip distance wide and make sure that all your toes are pointing forward. And then give your knees a little bit of a bend. So if you tend to be one of those people where your knees go backwards and hyperextend, we don't want to be locking out in that joint, so give them a little bit softness. We're all going to do that together. And then take a nice breath in and lift all of your toes off the floor. So you can see I'm lifting mine up. See if you can feel how the ball of the foot starts to push into the floor, and see if you can get the weight even between your big and pinky toe. And you might notice how you feel your arch lifting up. Now we're going to spread our big and pinky toes and see if we can place those down first. And I know that's a little tricky, so do your best with that. You can always practice it. And then let the 3 center toes extend. And see if you can keep that weight even between your big toe and your pinky toe. And then let's take that again. Lift all the toes up. Bring the weight even between your big toe and pinky toe. In that second video, we talked about how the weight often goes into the big toe and the arch collapses. So if that happens for you, keep pushing out into those big pinky toes and your heel as well. Spread the toes. See if you can go big and pinky toe down first, and then spread the 3 center toes and spread the toes out, keeping that weight even. And just feel that for a moment. And now let that go, soften your knees, and just give your feet a little bit of a shake out there. Don't forget it, because we're going to come right back to it. Now we're going to bring our feet all the way together, heels and toes. Now if you have a bunion, go with your bunions touching together. You don't have to try and shove your toes together there. Do the same thing we just did. Pick up your toes, spread them out, replant them, get that weight even between pinky toe and big toe. See if you can feel the arch lifting. It doesn't mean it has to be way up off the floor. If they're flatter, that's okay. And the heels. Now we're pressing down through our feet on all those points. With a little bit of softness, now start to straighten your legs, not lock them out, so just shy of being locked. And now start to lift the muscles on the front of the thighs. So you're gonna feel your quadriceps. Those are on the front of the sides engaged. And squeeze your booty. You're going to start to feel really strong and powerful underneath. And then feel like your inside of your heels are pulling together. And that's going to draw your inner thighs together. Now that's a lot to think about, so I'm going to say it again. Just see if you can maintain this. Outer edges of the feet press down, so all along that pinky toe to your heel. Knees are not locked. They're pretty straight. Now we're going to lift our thighs, squeeze our booty, and feel the heels like they're going to pull together a little bit. Feel your inner thighs drawing up. And you might even feel your belly draw in as you do that. Breathing here. Now exhale and just let that relax. Soften your knees. Maybe give them a little bobble. And then start to toe heel your feet all the way apart. Okay? Like I said, simple stuff. Maybe not the easiest thing, but simple. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our feet apart here. Turn the toes forward slightly. I'm going to turn myself a little bit so you can see. And again, root the outer edges of your feet. So pinky toes down. Now, if your legs collapse in, they're going to definitely want to go into those big toes. outer edges of the feet, so your arch is lifting and the big toes on the floor. Again, squeeze your booty. And now feel like the heels are drawing together a little bit. Now, as soon as you feel, you're gonna feel your inner thighs start to, as soon as you feel that, you're done. You don't need to go more than that. You don't need to be at 100%. Just get the muscles to engage. And then we're gonna bring our arms forward. And we're gonna keep all that. Now we're gonna stick our rear end back. We're gonna go into a squat. So rear end goes back. I feel the outer edges of my feet on the floor. I'm trying to squeeze my rear. I go to where I can. You might not be as low as me. It's okay. Now we're going to push down with our feet, start to squeeze your booty and come all the way back up. And we're going to do that again. Moving slow is key. Butt's going back, not forward. Stick your butt back. And if you have trouble with sticking your butt back, put a chair back there like you're going to sit in it. And then push down through the feet, squeeze the rear. You want to keep paying attention. Do I feel the outer edges of my feet on the floor? Do I feel my booty engaging? Do it again. Reach the rear end back. Squeeze your booty. Outer edges of those feet, keep them planted. And push down and squeeze the rear end. 2 more like that. Butt goes back. Chest stays tall. Thighs are rolling open. We keep that weight on the outer edges. That's going to help do that. So that knees over the center of the foot. And raising up. And one more. Remember that from video 2. Knee over the center of the foot. Knee doesn't track past the center of the foot. Knee over the 4th toe or the 3rd toe. And pushing down and raising all the way up. We let the arms drop. We toe heel those feet back together. Find our stance from earlier. Lift your toes. Spread pinky toe, big toes. Outer edges of the feet. You got the arch lifting. Knees are not locked. They're straight. Now we lift the front of the thighs. We squeeze the booty. We feel like the heels are going to pull together lightly. So our inner thighs engage. Now we're balancing the work. Now we maintain it. Balancing the work on the outer and inner of the legs. Balancing the work in the front and the back. Now see if you can just raise those arms up. For 5, 4, focus on the legs and the feet. 3, 2, 1, and now keep it as you go down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now let that relax. Give it a shake out. Now we're going to take the legs out wide. Outer edges of the feet. Now go wider than your shoulders. Wider, probably feel a little in the uncomfortable place. Not painful, just not normal, like awkward. Outer edges of the feet, press down again. And feel that lift in the arch. Squeeze your booty. That's going to help bring your hips right underneath you. And now feel like you're going to pull your feet together a little. And you might feel how it gives you a little lift up in your groin area. These muscles on the inner thighs are going to engage. And just maintain that. Let the heels relax. Now feel them pull again together. Lift the front of the thighs, outer edges of the feet. Breathing. And let that go. And toe heel the feet together. Now if you're on your mat, you'll need to turn how I am so you'll be at one front end. We're going to slide one leg back. So again, I'm keeping this leg on its own side of the body. I haven't crossed them over, so I'm on a balance beam. Now we want to do the same thing. Now your lunge can be up here, and it can go down lower. I'll talk about that. So as you get stronger and more comfortable with it, it'll go lower. Outer edge of the back foot, and you want to do the same thing we've been doing with our feet. Big toe, pinky toe, heel. Now in our lunge, remember, our knee's going to go over our ankle, and we want to make sure we don't see our knee covering our big toe. So that knee stays over that 3rd or 4th toe. And the back foot, we want to make sure the outer edge of that foot stays on the floor. So we haven't done any of this business. You see my knee collapses. So there we go. And then see if you can move your way into your lunge. Now, if you're up and you're like, I think I can handle more intensity, then slide the back leg back further. The lower you go, the more challenging it gets. So you stay up high if you need to. We're just going to put our hands on our hips and try and turn our chest forward. Don't worry about this back hip coming all the way forward. Work on the back foot. Now feel like your heels are going to draw together. And again, you'll feel that lift up and maintain. So big toe, pinky toe, heel on both feet. Firm up the thigh on the back leg. Pull the heels towards one another and straighten the front leg. And let's take that once more. Lunge into the front leg. Knee pointing over the center of the foot. Knee tracking straight down over the ankle. Your hips might be higher than mine, that's fine. Back foot is planted. Firm up the thighs, feel like the heels draw together. You want to add a little something, add your arms forward, add your arms all the way up. We breathe for 3, 2, keep maintaining, squeeze your booty, and all the way up. Bend your front knee, hop your back foot to your front foot, switch up your legs. I'm going to turn the other way so you can see me better. Each leg's on its own side of the body. Front knee straight over the center of the foot. Make sure you can see your big toe. It's an easy way to know that. If your knee's covering your big toe, 99.9% chance it's rolling in. So roll it out so you can see your big toe, maybe even your second toe. Plant your back foot. Firm up that back thigh. Squeeze your booty. Turn your chest forwards where your knee is pointing, or as much as you can. And then we breathe there. Feeling like the heels start to draw together. And as soon as you feel those inner thigh muscles start to activate, or your hamstring, you're done. You don't need to try any harder than that. Just maintain that. And then straighten the front leg, take a little break. And then once more. Watch how the knee tracks. Notice if yours wants to do this, it probably wants to do this a lot. So here's how we start to make new patterns in our body. Knee tracking, heels draw towards one another, back thigh firms up, booty engages, arms on hips, forward or up if you want a little more intensity. Remember the back leg can always slide back as you get more facile. And raising up and turning, toe heel your feet together, give it a little shake out, and then we're going to come down to the floor so you get down there however you need to get down. Roll all the way onto your back. Bring your heels underneath your knees, same alignment, feet straight forward. Now, even though we can't see our feet, we can feel them because we've been feeling them for the last 10 minutes or so. We push down through especially our heels. Again, squeeze our butt, which we've been doing, and it's going to drive our hips up into what we call a bridge position. If you're not sure if this is working, you can put your hands there and poke it. Make sure it's firmed up. If these hamstrings cramp, chances are they're trying to do the job your booty's supposed to be doing. So lower your butt a little, squeeze your booty, get that to engage, and that's what helps drive those hips up. And then we're going to lower that on down. Take a second, bring your knees to your chest, give it a little rock. You can open the knees and get a nice stretch on the inner thighs. Okay? Bring back together. Let's do that one more time. So feet. Now this is great because it's going to help open the front of the hips, which are often piked. It's going to help us learn how to activate our glutes, which we need to get our hips extended. Those glutes extend the hips. We need our strong glutes for nice strong legs and hips. And we press that up. I'm pushing down with my feet, especially my heels. If your knees are splaying outside, think of pushing your heels out a little bit so those knees don't splay out, and then engage your booty like crazy. I put my hands on my front of my hips to help drive those up. That's what we want going up, and then lower that all the way down. Bring the knees into the chest. Take a nice exhale. Did you hold your breath on that last one? Sometimes that will happen. So keep working on breathing. That happens over time. Lower this down. Cross right ankle over left thigh. At the knee is where you start. You might feel a stretch here. If you're okay, bring it in. If you can bring the ankle in closer, go for it. Hands would come around to the hamstring or to the shin. You can't grab it. You can throw a towel or a belt back there and grab onto that, okay? Give a little pressure of your ankle that's trapped into your other leg, and just take a little rock. Now you're going to probably feel a stretch over here in the butte, or up into the outside of the thigh, or the inner thigh, or the hamstring. Wherever you feel it, it's okay. If it's in the knee, just back it up a little bit, or open this angle up. And exhale, release that, unwind, give the ankle a circle, cross to the other side, fold it in. Grab, remember this can be position 1. Position 2 maybe with a belt or strap. If it doesn't make it in, it's okay. Otherwise you come in and grab hamstring or shin. Give it a little hug. Take a couple nice breaths. Relax your shoulders. Release that down. Unwind the other leg. Give the ankle a circle. Drop the foot to the floor. Roll to the side. sit yourself up, and there you have it. That is your non-complicated, short, I think we're at 15 minutes or less, routine that you can just practice. You can even do those exercises on their own, especially that first one, mountain pose, where you're standing, engaging. That's going to start to train your muscles to engage and do their job. Each muscle group has its own job to do, and sometimes one part gets lazy and the other one takes over for it, and that's when we get imbalanced. So we can start training them to work together like an orchestra and fine tune, and that's what we hope for you. So on your quest to strong legs and healthy knees, if this helped you, if you have a comment, if you have a question, go ahead and leave it below. We'll get back to you. And like I said, there are 2 other videos in this series. We will include the links to those below as well. Have a great one, and we'll catch you real soon.